what's happening with the calories that you're taking in from fats, the addictiveness of fats. When you feel like you are overeating on fats, it's not because the fats are bad or evil, it's because your body is in a state of hunger. Hey guys, it's Mirika Abundance, and we're in for a very hot topic today. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. Is it actually true? It's very dear to my heart. It's been highly requested. So let's start right away. Like, how is it even possible that every single gram or molecule of fat you eat, or calorie of fat you eat, is the fat you wear? It's not even possible, because your body needs it for essential functions, but also for functions that are nice to have. Where would your hormones be without any fats? Where would your skin be, your hair be? Everything that needs fat to actually exist, your brain, everything that has to do with hormones, libido, your period if you're a female, anything reproductive, but also testosterone. It's not actually essential for surviving, but life is much better if you feel that your reproductive system is running smoothly and that it has everything it needs, and your body does need fat for it. Mind you, it doesn't need tons of fat. It doesn't need a lot of fat. I get that, and that's how it is. But it needs some fat. That's why we actually have fats in the plants that we eat. Duh! It's so wise, right? We were not meant to just go crazy about the components that are in our foods. We are meant to enjoy them. But there's also a reason why the more fatty plant foods, they tend to be more available in specific seasons. They are not available the whole year round, most of the time. But then there's also plant fats, like for example coconut. They are available the whole year round. It all comes down to that in the end, when you're eating a wholesome diet, even if it wasn't 100% vegan or 100% vegetarian or whatever, even then, our natural diet, we can agree on, would be consisting of majority of carbohydrates, be it 50%, 60, 70, 80, whatever feels best for you. I mean, why would there be so many foods in nature that consist of carbohydrates? Say hi to the camera. Oh. The point I want to make is we weren't meant to spend all these thoughts on percentages from macros. It's not how it was meant to be. There are reasons why fats are not overly abundant in nature, but there are also reasons why we have fats in nature. Like, don't overthink it, just eat it. How I handle fats is actually I just add it to my foods however much I think tastes nice to me. And that's how much fat I'm gonna eat. And right now, and like it's been for 1 year now already, I'm not going below 20% of fats ever anymore. I've been at 5% and lower from fat. I can tell you it didn't work. I wanted it to work, but I don't know. I don't feel like eating more fats harms me or makes me feel worse in any way at all. And I am just super fine. I'm very happy with how my hormones are working. I'm finally at a point where my period is coming very regularly, and my hair loss has stopped. That, yeah, I had that because of all that calorie deficit and stuff. I've talked about it in my last video. Overall, I feel really fine and I haven't noticed any disadvantage. I'm not cramming in the fat. I don't know. That's not what I'm craving, but I'm just eating fats to my heart's content as much as I feel tastes good. And that's all I care about. I don't care about any number or any percentage anymore. And I think that's so important for anyone to do, because how are you supposed to know how much your body needs? Like, it literally is that way. You cannot know how much it needs, and it will easily and happily regulate itself. Like, you're not meant to calculate and regulate and control all your intake of carbohydrates and proteins and fats. It's not how you were designed to eat. You are meant to enjoy your food and eat what you were supposed to eat. That also includes some processed foods, because in nature we would process foods to our liking, like to a small amount as well. Just for example, take coconut milk. It's a processed food. It's still wholesome. It's still part of a natural diet. Just an example. If you just eat to your heart's content, then your body will regulate itself. Like, long term, it's going to regulate itself what it's going to do with these calories, if it's going to store them or burn them. And what it's going to do is just going to depend on at what stage you are metabolically, at what stage you are in your recovery from an eating disorder or from just metabolic diseases or issues. Whatever the reason was why you were in a long-term calorie deficit or also a short calorie deficit, everyone reacts differently and everyone has different symptoms, and for everyone it takes different amounts of time to recover from it. And that's why you cannot say when your body will start to not store the calories anymore but burn them again. It's just going to depend on your body, how much time it needs to recover, to regenerate, and then to be able to trust in the food abundance. Once the food is abundant enough for your body that it can waste the energy again, then it will waste the energy again. That's what's actually decisive about what's happening with the calories that you're taking in from fat. It's not primarily the fat calories itself, okay? Very important. I personally believe that the notion of the fat you eat is the fat you wear was originally established just to make people see that carbohydrates are the body's preferred source of fuel. I think Dr. McDougall, he meant well, and he just wanted to demonstrate and use it as an imagery so people would see that they don't need to fear carbohydrates, and that's a good thing. And plant doctors know their stuff. But I think it's very important for us to realize that young people with a background of dieting and a perfect eating and mental disorders and eating disorders, they could not be more far away from the target group of these plant-based doctors. And that's why the fat you eat is the fat you wear. It was well meant, but it might fall on hyper-fertile soil. Young people with a background of dieting and perfect eating, they actually, most of the time, need to do the exact opposite of that to recover back their metabolism and health, and even to lose weight in many cases long term, because you actually need to be in a healthy metabolic state to be able to maintain a healthy weight long term for life. Just the thought of just skipping the fat and leaving out the fat to lose weight is very irresponsible and unreasonable, because you need this fat for bodily functions, and it's going to restrict you in all of your ways to eat and in your social ways and in your mental ways. And it's just unnecessary because it's good for you. It's meant for you to be eaten. when you feel like you are overeating on fats, it's not because the fats are bad or evil, it's because your body is in a state of hunger and it's telling you to eat the most dense, like the most calorie dense food there is, and that is food that contains a lot of fats. So it's not because the fat is bad, it's because your body is signaling you that we need energy and I don't care where from. So keep that in mind. I've talked about it in addictive junk foods like sugar, oil, and salt, I think is the video. Empty calories. And there's this study where they've shown that it's not the sugar that is actually driving the addictiveness of sugar, but it's the fasting and the calorie restriction before they ate the sugar. And that's exactly what's going on with the fat as well, with the addictiveness of fats. I believe that fat, it's so much more appealing and it's so calorie dense, and I will eat more of it than I should if I just don't restrict myself around it. But the opposite is the case long term. I've eaten fat to my heart's content for a year now, and it's not that way at all that I feel like I have to eat it all the time. It's just so wrong, and it's so wrong to just restrict it. And of course you're going to feel like you're going overboard if you're just suddenly free the restrictions around it and just start and allow yourself to have fat again. But that's not how it's meant to be, and it's going to balance out just naturally. It's not meant to be controlled, okay? And also keep in mind, be aware that the fat you eat is the fat you wear was established to guide people in weight loss that was produced by a calorie deficit and the so-called calorie density approach. And these two are the exact opposite of what people in recovery need to do. They need to eat less volume, higher calorie density, and no calorie deficit. That's the opposite of what people in recovery need to do to recover their lowered metabolism, which is one reason why the body deals differently with the fat calories to begin with. Was that a sentence? I hope so. I will end the video for now because it's already quite long. There will be the next video, and I hope to see you in that video again. Bye bye. Hey guys, it's Miric Abundance, and the goats are coming and running.